available to a potentially wide audience of peers who can learn from and build upon the completed research report. Next is the spiral of scientific method. Dr. Ranganathan has characterized the working of scientific method by a never-ending spiral movement. It is systematically represented in the diagram. The cycle implied in the spiral will be followed in the clockwise direction. For convenience of reference, the 4 cardinal points of the cycle are denoted by Ranganathan by the terms nadir, ascendants, zenith and descendant. The nadir marks the accumulation of facts obtained by observation, experimentation and other forms of experience. The ascendant marks the accumulation of induced or empirical laws got out of the facts accumulated at the nadir by inductive logic, including normal equations and other aids from statistical calculus. The zenith marks the fundamental laws formulated with the aid of intuition of some degree or other so as to comprehend all the induced or empirical laws accumulated at the ascendant or compelling implications. The descendant marks the accumulation of the deduced laws got from fundamental laws at the zenith with the aid of deductive logic, including journal, semantics and all kinds of mathematical calculus. The 4 cardinal points give rise to 4 quadrants in the cycle implied in the spiral. These may be termed as empirical phase, hypothesizing phase, deductive phase, verification phase. For convenience of reference, the 4 quadrants have been numbered 1 to 4 respectively by Ranganathan as follows. Quadrant 1 is between descendants and nadir, in which primary senses are used either in their native state or with the aid of instrument. Observations are made of noise either with or without experiment, inferences and conditioning. There is progression towards particularization and regression from generalization. There is progression towards concreteness and regression from abstractness, and facts are found and recorded. Quadrant 2 is between nadir and ascendant, in which intellect is used either by itself or aided by machinery constructed to speed up the work of the intellect and to give relief to it in some degree. Reasoning is made with the aid of inductive logic, including normal equation, statistical and other calculus, to boil down the numerous facts accumulated at the nadir to a small number of induced or empirical laws. There is regression from particularization and progression toward generalization. There is regression from concreteness and progression towards abstractness, and inducted and empirical laws are formulated and recorded. Third quadrant is between ascendants and zenith, in which intuition of some intensity or other is used. The inductive or empirical laws stand boiled down to very small number of fundamental laws. For example, Newton's law of motion. Progression towards ultimate generalization, progression towards ultimate abstractness, and sizing the fundamental laws and their recording. Fourth quadrant is between zenith and descendant, in which intellect is used either by itself or aided by machinery constructed to speed up the work of the intellect and give relief to it in some measure. Reasoning is made with the aid of deductive logic, including mathematical and other calculus, to work out the implications of the fundamental laws. Progression towards particularization, progressions towards concreteness, derivation of deduced laws and their recording. Derived deduced laws include one and all of the induced empirical laws, and the number of deduced laws exceed that of empirical laws. If the fundamental laws has been sized with intuition of adequate intensity, one finds that the process of observation corresponds to quadrant 1 and 2, the process of formation of hypothesis to quadrant 3, and testing of hypothesis to quadrant 4 in the cycle. Re-entering the spiral. The spiral of scientific method begins the next cycle by re-entering quadrant 1. Two things happen at this stage of development. First, observation and experiments are made to verify empirically the validity of new deduced laws. Further, continuous observation and experimentation leads to accumulation of new empirical facts. So long as the deduced laws are verified empirically to be true and the new empirical facts are found to be in conformity with the implications of the fundamental laws, there is no movement in the spiral. As and when the new empirical facts contradict the new fundamental laws, scientific method is applied and new cycle gets into full swing and carries the spiral of scientific method further. Work in quadrant 2 leads to a new set of empirical laws. Work in quadrant 3 leads to the sizing of a new set of fundamental laws. Work in quadrant 4 leads to new set of deduced laws. Thus, the cycle is liable to be repeated without end. Thus, any domain in the universe of knowledge which admits of the above described spiral of scientific method in the course of its development is a science.